Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back. Just a quick little call to action for you. We would love it if you would support Chalk and Gavel any way possible. This is a labor of love for us, right? And it's a little side project, and just to keep this show going, it would be hugely meaningful to us if you would consider supporting the show in one way or another. We've got a Patreon page that you could use. The links are in the show notes. You can also go to our website, and there's a number of different ways that you can support the show there. You can support it with a one-time contribution, or you can do a recurring monthly or annual contribution.
You could buy merch.
You could buy merch. Yes, we've got lots of great merch up there on the website. And that would be awesome. And also, there's a questionnaire on our website that we would love it if you would fill that out and let us know what you think about the show. And we love hearing from our listeners. So, yeah.
When you started off, I thought you were going to address the elephant in the room, which is we are recording together here in a hotel room in Los Angeles.
Right, yes.
Because we're here for a conference.
We're here for a conference. We figured let's do a recording. We'll be in the same room. We don't get to do this very often.
Yeah.
So
it's our high-priced studio.
Yeah. See, everything's propped up on like an ironing board over there. It's
very MacGyvered. We're good.
MacGyver, you just dated yourself there with that one.
I wanted to make sure you got it.
Oh, I got it. Are you kidding? So lovely Los Angeles in the background here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you again for listening, everybody. And why don't we just dive into today's show? Sound good?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, Jamie.
Yes.
What happens when, at home, over the weekend, students create a fake Instagram account impersonating their biology teacher and maybe post some, let's say, less than appropriate things?
So what happens?
Yeah, what happens?
Probably nothing very good.
No.
No. So
because we're talking about it, so we,
it ended up in court. So in today's case, we're dealing with an off-campus student speech case that involves a student, high school student, who made a fake Instagram account pretending to be one of his teachers, and they made some disturbing posts, and word spread, and people found out, and people got hurt, and the students got in trouble, and then they filed a lawsuit, and all of that stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Great.
I'm here for it.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Chalk and Gavel. Welcome to Los Angeles, everybody. I'm Jamie Cudlitz. I'm a former math teacher and principal, and I'm one of the hosts of this.
Are you? What are you doing here? That's good. I'm glad you're one of the hosts.
Yeah.
And I'm Chris Thomas. I'm a high school English teacher and former school attorney.
He's also one of the hosts.
I'm also one of the hosts. We're both also currently professors of educational leadership, telling the fascinating stories connecting the courtroom to the classroom.
Talking Gavel is for educational purposes only. While Chris and Jamie always try to provide accurate information, the law is like what I'm willing to eat. It's always changing. This podcast is not legal advice and does not create an attorney-client relationship, but they promised me it would be a lot of fun. For you. Can I get my candy now?
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. And let's dive right into the bell ringer.
Yeah.
Lots of fun stuff going on, man.
It is. It's hard. I keep joking that we're going to do Oops, All Bell Ringers. I think we did 4 last episode or a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Now we're going to just
13 today.
No, just 2. Just 2 today. But there's a theme here. We're talking about religion and school choice. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now in those 2 spaces. And we've talked about that a ton in this show.
Yeah.
First up, there's a fight brewing in Texas over whether or not families can use Texas's new or recently expanded voucher program to go to Islamic private schools. So the state originally took the position that state law forbade the schools from getting vouchers because they were allegedly tied to terrorists or foreign adversaries. This came from allegations that...
So wait, are you saying that the school is tied to terrorism?
That's what the state of Texas is saying for why they can't get vouchers.
Well, that's a very interesting...
Yes. So I guess the facts that they are grounding that on, to the extent that they're grounding it on anything, there were allegations that a group called the Council on American Islamic Relations, which is a Muslim civil rights group, Governor Greg Abbott recently designated that group a terrorist organization, even though federal law does not categorize it that way, right?
Okay.
And so because of that categorization, basically any school that was even remotely associated with this organization, and they'd hosted events and things like that for some of the folks involved with these schools, they said none of those schools can get these vouchers. So in March, a family brought a lawsuit saying, hey, number one, the civil rights organization brought a lawsuit saying, hey, this designation doesn't apply to us. And then two, a bunch of families brought a lawsuit alleging religious discrimination, saying that the denial of vouchers was actually religious discrimination in violation of the free exercise clause. So as things stand now, some of the schools themselves also brought a lawsuit, and the state has accepted some of the Islamic private schools into the voucher program, though it doesn't seem like they've done that for everyone yet. So things are still going on, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But it's interesting to see how a lot of those religious freedom arguments that we saw in
the
so
Oklahoma
many of these
City, or the Oklahoma charter school, religious charter school.
Yeah. And now they're being applied in situations outside of Christianity. Which is our second bell ringer.
Back to Oklahoma.
Back to Oklahoma, always, it seems like.
Right.
So our old friend, the Oklahoma Attorney General, Gentner Drummond, has again sued the Oklahoma Statewide Charter School Board. This time, he says they didn't follow the law when they rejected an application for a new charter school for the Ben Gamla Jewish Charter School.
Okay, wait. So let me stop you.
They didn't follow the law for why they rejected the school. So the board rejected the school because it was religious.
But wait, the board a while ago allowed a Christian charter school, which was the whole case that went all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Yes. So the board is actually following what the Oklahoma Supreme Court said, which is that you can't have a religious charter school. Gentner is saying you denied it only because of religion when there's a lot of other problems with this application. And he basically says, the board deliberately suppressed potential fatal flaws with the application just so they could deny it based on religion to tee it up for federal court. So basically, he's saying, you guys are trying to get a case back to the
backdoor back in.
So he wants them to follow the law to basically list all of the reasons why they denied the application, not just
the religion piece.
It was obviously religious, and you can't have that in Oklahoma. So there's another fight brewing in Oklahoma. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one too.
This is what we call in the industry a you-know-what show. It's just,
it's a Pandora's box, right? We got to figure out how to answer all these questions. And this is the natural progression of all of these religious freedom or arguments that we've been seeing. They don't just apply to majority religions. And so
we have to figure out how we're going to answer these questions. But the questions, they keep changing and manipulating the wording of these questions, which makes them that much more difficult to answer, right? Okay, well, good times.
Yeah, so I'm sure there'll be more to talk about.
Oh, there'll be a lot more to talk about. Well, and we've talked about it before, the next time one of these cases gets up to the Supreme Court, which is just a matter of time, most likely.
It might not
be. It will not be a split 4-4.
Right, yeah, because the speculation was that Justice Barrett recused herself because of relationships that she had
with one of the attorneys,
who represented St. Isidore, the school. And so if that attorney isn't part of this case, then then maybe
she's back in.
She could be back in. So there could be 9 justices, and they split 4-4, and we think we know what the split was, but she would be then the deciding vote.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's you want to. Shift gears.
Let's talk about Instagram.
Let's talk about Instagram.
Something that we know so much about.
It's so social media savvy we are. Okay, so this is a really interesting case. Unfortunately a pretty common thing that we're seeing out there right now, students on social media, and that bleeding into the school and causing problems. And it's something that educators and students are facing on a regular basis now. So in this case, a group of students, they created an Instagram account impersonating one of their teachers.
Right. And yeah, like social media, we talked about some of the lawsuits against social media companies by schools, by saying like the harm that these things are causing. And now we've got a situation in which students are impersonating one of their teachers. And that is a situation that we've seen, there are cases going back to MySpace. You probably remember those. Sorry.
Everybody's friend Tom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a MySpace. I get it. But
you were 9.
I don't remember. Who can say? But like that opens up a whole other can of worms, because now you've got like with AI and deep fakes the potential there. Like there's so much here that is like issues around bullying, harassment, impersonation, like all of these different things are kind of wrapped up. And so like it's a lot to deal with, especially when it bleeds over into the school like it does here.
Yeah. So our story that we're going to talk about today, it starts in May 2019 at Freeland High School in Michigan, which is in the middle of the state. I don't know, somewhere.
You got to do the map thing. Yeah.
It's near Saginaw Bay. So we've got a student, initials are HK, and he was a student at Freeland High School, and the lawsuit was brought by HK's father, and we know that HK's father's last name was Kuczynski. And so we are just going to assume that the student's last name, HK, his last name was also Kuczynski.
Sounds like a safe assumption.
We will call him Kuczynski. Sound good?
Yeah, I want to hear how many times you can say that.
So at the time that all this started, 2019, Kuczynski was 14 years old. The kid, Kuczynski, not the dad.
Oh, not the dad. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate you clarifying.
Sure. You're welcome. So on May 11th, 2019, was probably a beautiful day up in Michigan.
Yeah. May in Michigan?
Yeah. You responded like you're like, oh, I remember that day.
Yeah, no, I think I was there.
So he was at home. It was a Saturday. Kuczynski was at home. He woke up. He decided to create an Instagram account impersonating his biology teacher, Mr. Schmidt. Okay? Why did he do this? Why do teenagers do anything?
That's a great question.
I don't know. I mean, I ask myself, why did I do what I did at the time? I still can't answer that.
Right.
So I don't know what kind of relationship this kid had with his teacher. Good, bad, nothing.
Right. It was just a spur of the moment thing. If there was bad blood or the court opinion does not mention any of that. So we're just kind of speculating.
Yeah. But like these are important things to speculate about. Right. Because these are often like really important factors in why things happen in schools. Right.
And I'm sure it, depending on what it was and the reasons, like that could go to the discipline, but it also kind of comes through in the posts.
Sure.
So something was going on. Right.
Exactly. Okay. So Kuczynski puts some effort into this fake account. The username for the fake account was Mr. Schmidt's last name, his middle initial, and his first name.
So his full name.
Full name in like a rearranged order, I guess. Kuczynski also found a photo of Mr. Schmidt from his Facebook page and used that as the profile picture.
Ooh, okay. So like full on impersonation.
Yeah. Like didn't seem like he was trying to make a parody account that was like it was public that there was parody. Like
this was supposed to look like it was coming from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he also made Kuczynski also made the first post on the account, and it was a photo of a gasoline pump nozzle with a hypodermic needle stuck in it, and it had the caption, "Watch out, guys. I'm concerned for everybody's safety."
Huh.
I don't understand.
It sounds like an inside joke.
It could be. I mean, like he's a biology teacher, so Probably
something
does
about like lab
experiments
safety.
and lab safety, but like the gas pump, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're not here to debate
I'm not gonna
creative license or whatever.
Of a 14-year-old's tweet impersonating his teacher.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it's important to note the account was private at this point.
Oh, okay.
And so only the people who follow the account could see the posts.
Yeah.
So again, this was on a Saturday. It was created, and sometime that weekend, Kaczynski told a couple of his friends about the account and gave them the username and password, which is always a great thing to do, is give other people usernames and passwords to things that you've created. That's for another episode.
I anticipate a snowballing effect.
What gave it away?
Yeah.
The lawsuit?
Well, yes, also.
So things obviously, like you said, they snowball, they get out of hand here. Over the weekend, the two friends, they started posting on the account. All right. When the friends were the ones posting, Kaczynski was aware of what was being posted, and he continued to monitor the page. And at some point, somebody updated the profile for the account to read, quote, biology teacher at Freeland High School, one loving wife, quote, or hashtag lovers, married in 2016, father of two beautiful twins, hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
And one girl, hashtag growing up.
Okay. Like, that's not unbelievable, right? Like,
No, it's
and
not.
it's a lot of detail about his life. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that's all accurate. But
I would assume so, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So what did they post, you might ask?
Yeah.
Well, buckle up, folks. Here's how the eventual police report. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's where.
Yep. So that's where
one
we're
of the
going.
places where it's going. So here's what the police report said, and it's important to remember these were written as though they were written from Schmidt's perspective,
As if he was the one posting it or saying it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They weren't posting about him; they were posting as if they were him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to get into a lot of the actual text from these posts because it's not safe for
podcast.
For podcast,
Yeah.
for our clean rating.
Okay. Yeah, these aren't PG
No,
posts.
they're
Yeah.
not PG posts. Okay, so here are some of the descriptions. One post was of another student with the caption, quote, glad this sicko is out of our school, hashtag assault, hashtag blessed.
Oh, so the very first post is like
Bullying him
another-
attacking another student.
another student. Okay.
Okay. There was another post that was a picture of Mr. Schmidt and his family with a caption about Schmidt and his wife having sex with other people and a joke that Mr. Schmidt's kid wasn't his.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. That escalated quickly.
That is not good.
Yeah.
Another post was a picture of the three boys, the people who were posting.
Kaczynski and his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a picture of their English teacher with a caption implying that she and Mr. Schmidt had sex in a PetSmart.
What?
So it's claiming that basically he's
having an affair with another teacher. Yeah.
And the location was a pet store.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Because 14-year-olds.
Because 14, yeah. So there was also a post, a short sexually explicit video of an unknown woman with a caption saying that Schmidt was going to have to cheat on his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Instagram account is the gift that keeps on giving.
I guess so.
It's like the jelly of the month, Clark. It's Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, there was another post, a picture of a male substitute teacher who was also a coach at the school with the caption about how Schmidt was going to violently assault him.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Another post with a picture of that substitute teacher, this time with his cat.
Aw.
That said, I could beat him up. And that also threatened violence against the cat.
All right. Well, that's not cool.
I mean, like...
That crosses the line. Everything else. That's where I draw the line.
Where you draw the line. Listen, I'm not a cat person, personally. I don't have anything against them. I'm just more of a dog person.
Yeah.
But I still do not want anything bad to happen to cats.
No.
No.
I mean, it's all, none of this is appropriate.
Yeah. And, if you thought that was it, well, just wait.
Is there more?
There's always more. There's always more. So all of those posts had graphic and immature hashtags that we're, again, not going to share because this is a family show. Mm-hmm. Is it really a family show? Like, I really don't think people are sitting on their couches with, like, their 12-year-old kids going, oh, let's listen to Chalk and Gavel, guys.
I think there's a lot to be gained here from students, though.
I agree. You probably should.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if that's really...
Well, it's in the car, right? And who is in the car?
We'll put it this way. This could be a family show if you let it.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Share it with everyone.
So, and on top of all of that, all of those boys tagged the actual Instagram accounts of that English teacher and that substitute teacher in the posts that referenced them.
That's of all the silly things that they're doing, that has to be the most ridiculous of actually tagging the real accounts.
Yeah.
Because you get a notification when you're tagged in something.
Right.
Everyone is now going to know about this.
Right.
And maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe they didn't think about what the implications of that were going to be.
Again,
but
they're 14-year-old boys.
Yeah.
There's probably not a whole lot of critical thought taking place.
Yeah. Because
when they're doing this, I mean, it's...
Right. I mean, at least the account is private, I guess. But
And I'm not trying to generalize that is all 14-year-old boys. Because it is not.
Right. And we're not trying to excuse the behavior.
No,
right?
No. Sometimes kids do things without thinking through the consequences.
Fair enough.
All right. So all of this is happening. And the very next day, so this is, I guess, Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so they opened the post on Saturday. They started doing all these posts. I don't think they had gotten through all of them by Sunday.
Some of them were made on Sunday.
Some of them were made on Sunday. But the very next day, on Sunday, after some of those posts, but before some of the other ones, Mr. Schmidt hears about the account, both from another student and from the English teacher who was tagged in those English teacher posts.
Hey, would you look at
Imagine that.
I'm so surprised.
Right? And so in the early morning of Sunday, May 12th, Mr. Schmidt emailed the principal, Principal Smith, and alerted the principal that this was what was going on, that somebody had made a fake account and was impersonating him, and that he had already gone ahead and filed a report with the police.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
And with Instagram too, right?
Oh, yeah. That this is... I just
hey, take this account down, please.
Yeah, this is not me. And cited that it was an impersonation, threats of violence, harassment, clearly all of the things that are violations of Instagram's terms of use,
right?
Stuff like that I'm sure we all read before we click the box
the agree button
to sign it and acknowledge it.
Clearly.
Right?
Yeah, I read those. I'm an attorney, of course.
Okay, so by the end of that weekend, the account had 8 posts and 22 followers. Because the account was private, one of the 3 boys had to approve the follow requests, right? And Kaczynski didn't remember, or at least he claimed he did not remember having approved any.
Okay, so it could have been one of the 3 boys was approving the. Okay.
Exactly. So Monday morning rolls around, and Principal Smith immediately launches an investigation.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Mr. Schmidt had apparently emailed him screenshots of everything that was posted, though it was unclear of how he got access to the account or the screenshots and things like that, right?
Oh, yeah. Right, because it was private. So I wonder.
Yeah, so if
maybe a student shared them or.
Possibly. Yeah. It's unclear. But he had screenshots. He shared them with the principal.
Okay. So that probably shows who's following the account maybe and who's liking or interacting with the post. So you probably have some usernames to go off of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the principal probably had a sense of, based on the age of the kids and who might have had access to the accounts and stuff like that.
Well, they probably all are in the same grade because they've all got the same teachers, right?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. So he started calling students into his office to ask if they knew who created the account. He mentioned it to some teachers to keep an eye out for disruptions, to look out for students who might be
are giggling
doing
over their
stuff.
phone.
Yeah, exactly, right. And he also called the police.
Okay.
Just to help him work things from the Instagram side to figure out who owned the account, where the posts were coming from.
Get the IP address, whatever.
Yeah, you know, so he's trying to like cover all of his bases and do as thorough an investigation as possible.
And that sounds, I mean, immediate response. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Monday morning.
Yep.
It's only been up there for like 48 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Calling the students, trying to figure out, like, you know, just working through it. I mean, I don't know if you would have done anything different, but like, it sounds like a good investigation so far.
Yeah, no, everything that sounds thorough. So for Mr. Schmidt, he said Monday was not a really good day.
That would have been a hard day to go to work, I think.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he said that multiple students came up to him to discuss the account with him. He later testified that the whole day was really hard, especially since he suspected the account was created by students who could be sitting right in front of him, and he had no idea. Like, he's trying to teach class, and he knows that all of this stuff is out there, and the people who did it could be right in front of him. Like, that's not an easy position.
No, not at all. Especially because you know that everyone else knows about it.
Exactly.
And you know that some people who made it are probably sitting in that classroom too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Right. So English teacher said that she experienced something, you know, similar. She said students were whispering in class and that it disrupted her classes. She testified that she, quote, felt incredibly humiliated the entire day.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, given the nature of the posts, for sure.
That, like, somebody's claiming that she had an affair or slept with somebody who was married or whatever. And she also testified that she, quote, knew the students knew about it, and she was humiliated and completely consumed by anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? By the end of the day, she said she was crying in class. Okay? So obviously, again, 48 hours after all of this started.
Right.
And it sounds like it has easily taken on a life of its own.
For
It
sure.
is significantly affecting the people, you know, who were named in all of this stuff. And Kaczynski and the other two students have a conversation about it. Okay, because this is now probably
this is all happening in real time
in the school, right?
Yeah.
This Monday, they talk about it at lunch, and Kaczynski suggests taking down the account because it's getting out of control. Okay, so they did. They took the account down.
Okay, good.
Kaczynski deleted the account from his cell phone at the lunch table. Okay.
Is he supposed to have his phone at school?
Nah, I don't know.
I think those might be small potatoes.
Let's not even go there. So basically, in less than 48 hours, this Instagram account goes up, causes all this damage, and then comes down.
Right.
All right. Later that day, one of the students, don't know which one, told Principal Smith. Okay. That the three boys were the ones who were running the account. Okay. Principal Smith decided immediately to suspend the three boys for 5 days pending further investigation.
Okay. Get them out of the school.
Let's
keep investigating, figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now later, Principal Smith recommended Kaczynski for expulsion.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so at a hearing held in August, so the beginning of the next school year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, because we were close to the end of the school year.
Yeah, this was May, right? Yeah. The superintendent, who was acting as the hearing officer for that hearing, concluded that Kaczynski should be suspended for a total of 10 days for gross misbehavior. Okay.
That seems appropriate.
For creating
10
that
days.
fake Instagram account. Okay. But that is not the end of the story, obviously, because that didn't sit right with somebody, and they decided to sue. It didn't sit right with the older Kaczynski.
Right, because on his son's behalf, they brought a lawsuit.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, go figure.
I didn't see that coming at all.
You're always so surprised by that. So Kaczynski sues in federal court, arguing that the school violated his First Amendment rights when it punished him for his speech related to the fake account. Remember, this all happened off campus, or the speech happened off campus, right? It made its way into the school. And this is something that courts and schools have been trying to grapple with since, the advent of social media.
Right.
we've done a number of episodes on student free speech, but this is like that novel situation where we're talking about off-campus speech. So we're in Mahanoy territory.
Yes.
Brandy Levy versus Mahanoy. That was
if you're a regular listener, or if you've been listening from the beginning, that was number 3, folks.
Yeah,
Episode
go
number
back and
3.
check it out. It was a good episode.
Right, but that's the case that for the first time,
The first Supreme Court case.
the first Supreme Court case that tackled student speech in the digital era, essentially, right?
Right. Yeah. So that was the case of the cussing cheerleader on the weekend at the Cocoa Hut. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, coffee shop.
She posted, the student Levy posted some Snapchats that were critical of the cheer squad, the softball squad. Didn't really speak very highly of the school in general, right?
Right.
Got kicked off the JV cheer squad and then brought a lawsuit, and the Supreme Court for only the second time has sided with a student in a Supreme Court
Speech case.
The only other one would be Tinker.
Which was 50 years before.
Right.
But basically what they said was, like schools, you can't go after everything. Right. And if it's just a kid blowing off steam,
right.
You really can't.
Yeah. The majority opinion had a great line about sometimes we have to protect the superfluous to protect the necessary, and exactly that. Where people need to be able to kind of express themselves outside of these controls, because if we don't let them do that, then they're not going to be able to express themselves in other contexts too.
Right.
What's challenging about the Mahanoy case, though, is it didn't have a lot of bright lines. So Mahanoy really kind of just gave us, I think in the episode we called them green lights.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple green lights where schools have a little bit more authority to potentially regulate off-campus student speech. So these were situations involving targeted bullying and harassment, threats of violence against the school or the school community. I think the only other one dealt with off-campus learning things like virtual schools or homework and virtual test taking or whatever it might be. And so those are the green lights the court gave us. And then they said here's why those are the green lights, because there's these special considerations when we're talking about off-campus speech.
Right.
And so there's no hard and fast rule. So this is a really interesting case because it is, that case was 2021.
Right.
So this is one of the first cases trying to grapple with, okay, well, how do we apply Mahanoy?
Oh yeah.
What's the rule
one
from
of the
Mahanoy?
First post-Mahanoy
Right. Yeah.
cases.
So that's why this case is so interesting, is because
right.
it has to make sense of Mahanoy, and it has to figure out what's the rule that I'm going to apply from Mahanoy to decide this case.
Right. And it's, similar to some of the other cases that we've talked about on the show, right? Where, Tinker is one of the first student speech discipline kind of cases, but then there were so many other cases that came after that really helped, define where Tinker started and stopped.
Right. That refined the test.
Refined the tests around student speech.
Right.
And so now this case is not a Supreme Court case that we're talking about today.
No.
But like Chris said, we're talking about applying one of the first cases that needs to apply what they talked about in Mahanoy.
Right, yeah. So this is a trial court in Michigan dealing with this case.
Yeah.
And so the court has to basically say okay, well, we've got Mahanoy. I've got these facts. How do I apply Mahanoy to these facts?
And what did they do?
And so they start by parsing Mahanoy, right? They give it a deep read, just like we did.
Right.
And so, we talked about the green lights with severe and serious bullying and harassment targeting particular individuals.
Yeah.
Talked about the green light for threats aimed at teachers.
Yep.
But the court, kind of gave us those other considerations about why the school's interests off campus might be less than they are on campus. So it gave kind of 3 factors to consider. One is when students are off campus, school authority is less and parental authority is greater. So, that would usurp parental authority if we let schools regulate that speech. They also talked about this idea that if we allowed schools to regulate off-campus speech willy-nilly, that would be 24-hour surveillance for students, and that's
Bad.
Not great. And then the last one is that schools themselves have an obligation to protect students' rights. Justice Breyer used the phrase, schools are the nurseries of democracy. We need to protect student speech to show them the value of free speech, right?
Right.
And so...
But we've also had so many cases that have talked about like the nexus thing, like if the speech... Right? And so there's that other piece.
Right. How connected does it need to be to the school?
Right.
And before Mahanoy, that was what the lower courts were really grappling with before the Supreme Court kind of took this up. Because all of the lower courts who looked at it, like, first they had to decide, like, how does Tinker apply to off-campus student speech? And the kind of the consensus was Tinker applies, but only if there's a sufficient nexus or connection or, like, causal relationship between what the student said and what the student said off campus and the eventual disruption at school.
That it has in school.
And so like some said, there had to be a sufficient nexus where it had to be targeted or directed at the school, things like that. None of that is in Mahanoy, which is a really hard thing to do. But it does seem to be represented in the green lights that Mahanoy gave us, because those are like, it uses the language targeted at specific people. So like there is some intentionality required. It can't just be like you said a thing unrelated to the school and somebody at school took offense and it caused an issue. It has to be something directed at the school, right?
Right.
And so like the trial court here is like parsing all of this out and has to come up with the rule. And so here is the trial court's articulation of the rule of Mahanoy.
Okay.
So let's see what you think of this. So the court lays out its version of the rule, and it says, quote, under Mahanoy, the court must balance the school's interest in disciplining a student's speech against the off-campus features of his speech. So it's kind of this balancing test of like, okay, well, how much authority does the school have, or what interest does the school have in dealing with this speech? So that is consistent with kind of those factors and the green lights. And then you got to balance that against the off-campus feature of the speech so that like, the school might have less of an interest or less authority.
Right.
So I'm cool with the balancing test, but here's the kicker.
Okay.
There's a second part to the court's test. The trial court says that the second part of the test is, and then we have to address the material and substantial disruption prong of Tinker.
Oh, so they
add Tinker.
They add Tinker to
as a second
Mahanoy.
step. Yeah. And I don't know if that's how I would read Tinker, because Tinker wasn't really worried about the disruption. That's not how I would read Mahanoy, because Mahanoy is very intentional about like, we are not applying Tinker to this situation, because that was kind of the big fight, is whether or not Tinker applied, and if so, how. And Mahanoy like made its own determination kind of almost irrespective of Tinker. So it's odd to me that they're adding Tinker in, because the disruption consideration seems to be kind of subsumed into
the targeting,
the green lights.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily have a problem with that. If Mahanoy decided not to include the disruption piece, that doesn't preclude other courts from considering it. Like, because Mahanoy didn't say you can't consider this, right?
I mean, they probably wouldn't say that, but I think that like, it's not whether or not they need to consider it. It's like, is it a standalone thing? Because basically, what this could say is like, because it's a standalone thing, you might have situations where the school has an interest, and it's sufficiently strong to overcome the off-campus nature of the speech, but there's no disruption, and therefore the school can't address it. I don't think that's what Mahanoy said.
No, you're right.
I also think that like Mahanoy, the disruption piece is baked into Mahanoy's balancing test. So I don't necessarily see them as being separate. Right? I think they're just part of the same analysis, but the court here separates them. Anyway, I think it's an interesting question of like, we've got this ambiguous Supreme Court case.
Right.
What do we do? How do we make sense of it? And this court is making sense of it, and it's a tough exercise, right? So how does this apply to Kaczynski's speech? This is kind of an easy one, right? So, the post hits our green lights. Right?
It's targeted.
It is targeted harassment at a teacher, at 3 teachers and a student, right? Like we've got bullying, we've got harassment, and we also have threats of violence. So like those are 2 slam dunk.
One of them is against a cat.
Yes. Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
So the court says like, yes, this constitutes serious and severe bullying and harassment regarding a particular individual or individuals. It's threats aimed at a teacher or another student. Like we are on solid ground here. And there's nothing about kind of the off-campus nature of this that is going to undermine the school's interest.
Right.
Kaczynski, though, has a counter-argument.
Oh.
He argues that he shouldn't be punished at all because he didn't make the posts.
Oh.
He made one post.
He's
with the needle and whatever.
He's trying to save himself by throwing his buddies under the bus, huh?
Well, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it's the Shaggy defense.
The Shaggy defense.
Yeah. So the court looks at that and kind of says, no, we're not, that like, you are equally responsible for all of this because you created the account, like you oversaw the account, like you guys were doing this all together. You're probably egging each other on. Like this was not something that
started
like,
it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not something that you like just kind of started and it, you know, you took a back seat, right? Like, and you know, it wasn't just like you were in the same room as these guys doing this thing. So yeah, and there's a lot of case law out there about like, you know, if you guys are doing this together, if it's part of like a group bullying or harassment situation or like a chat room or something like that, like we can get everybody. Right. So, so that argument doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
So now that we've balanced kind of the justifications for punishing the speech, the court says, okay, now we got to find whether or not this. Now we have to apply the second prong of Tinker about whether or not there's a material and substantial disruption here.
But yeah, you know, to your point, like, why do we even need to bother? Because we've just satisfied the other stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is, you know, why is bullying and harassment problematic? Because of the substantial disruption, right? And the impact that it has on individual students. Yeah. And so, you know, for this one, same thing. We've got a pretty clear disruption. You know, we talked about Mr. Schmidt's, how he experienced Monday. We talked about the English teacher. There were lots of other kind of situations going on about like other students were, you know, something like this spreads through the school so quickly.
Yes.
And so the court looks at all of this and kind of says like, you know, not only did it make it to the school and it was targeted at the school because it was about people at the school, but like you, the people who made this account, intended it to look like it was Mr. Schmidt's account. Like this was meant to impersonate him. This was not parody. This was not you guys trying to make fun or make a political statement or anything like that. Like this was very much like, and Schmidt even said like, I was worried people were going to think it was actually me.
Yeah.
So like, because of all of that, like it was reasonable, the court says, for the principal to anticipate a material and substantial disruption, given the nature of the speech and kind of how it permeated the school environment.
It was already disrupting the environment in that those first few hours of the school day on Monday. Like, Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's interesting though, because there are cases before Mahanoy, lower court cases where courts sided with students who created parody accounts of their principals and teachers.
But a lot of those were largely, they sided with students largely because it was so clear that it was a parody account.
Right.
And most of the stuff that was posted was like just, it was kind of juvenile humor.
It wasn't lewd or indecent.
It wasn't
either,
lewd or
typically.
indecent. You know, they weren't accusing the teacher of having affairs or things like that. It was just, it was very clearly sort of parody, comedic, whatever.
Or to raise awareness of important issues that they saw with like, you know, problems with their leadership or choices
sort of
that they
more
made.
Factual kinds of
or political
kinds of speech. And so I would say very
different context.
Context,
but it shows that the speech itself matters.
Totally.
Right. And so anyway, in this case,
and the intent behind the speech matters in a sense, right? Like the intent here was, we're going to create something that people could look at and believe that's him. Whereas, you know, those earlier cases, that wasn't what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and those earlier cases didn't use pictures of like
I think one of them did.
There's
one that used a picture of the
Okay.
principal that they pulled from,
Yeah.
MySpace.
But
or
I think
something.
they
similar.
doctored it to make it like obvious it wasn't like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and I remember, I think the judge in one of those cases was like, one of the reasons, principal, that you need to lose here is like, get some thicker skin.
Yeah,
like it really wasn't that.
Right. And here, like,
Here,
obviously,
it's totally
yeah,
different. Like
right.
nobody's asking the teachers or whatever. Like,
Right.
Just kind of grow some thicker skin.
Yeah.
Like,
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt in it.
Exactly.
As one of my former coaches that used to work for me. Just rub some dirt in it.
Uh-huh. Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, listen.
The school one?
School one. That's and I completely agree with that, because that's the kind of behavior. I'm glad the school lost in those earlier cases about parody, because if it's not threatening or harassing or whatever, if it's just kind of silly and juvenile and or even political speech or something like that, like, yes, we do have to really think hard about balancing and figuring out where the scale kind of tips in those. We have to consider that stuff, but I'm glad it went this direction in this case, because that, not cool, man.
Right.
Like, that's some harsh stuff.
Right.
And you know what? Even though the school won, and even though that Instagram account was taken down in less than 48 hours, if you think that Tuesday or that Wednesday everything went back to normal for Schmidt and the English teacher and whatever, or even in the fall,
right?
No,
that's something that could color an entire
career,
or your tenure there, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to get out. I mean, we didn't, we weren't able to find, what happened, but
which makes me wonder, like, we spend a lot of time talking about what leads up to the lawsuit and then what happens, but like rebuilding those relationships and rebuilding that community after the lawsuit, that's not something that we talk about a lot, but like, that's something that definitely needs a lot of,
because if you think that Schmidt was all of a sudden no longer affected, or that principal just didn't have anything to do come Tuesday morning once the kids were suspended, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing, affected that school, kind of long term. And this was, and this case was decided when?
That's a great question. It was decided in 2022, so fairly recent. So this is one of the first cases to actually try to apply Mahanoy.
Because it was 2021, but it happened in 2019. So you're talking 3 years after the event
for the decision,
before the decision came out. So anyway, obviously, I think the takeaways are probably pretty obvious. But it's a reminder that, just because the speech is off campus doesn't mean your hands are tied as a school to deal with it. But you have to be very careful. You've got to take into account all of the things that we've talked about here in terms of, what's the kind of speech that you can act on, and what's the kind of speech that you really can't act on.
Right. And make sure, like, why you're acting on it, and that you've got a very clear reason, like, I'm acting on it because of these very specific things, and not just this larger concern. Or amorphous concerns, right? Like, this is targeted at specific people. I need to step in to make sure that, we keep everyone safe and a healthy environment.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that sounds
good to me.
Yeah, all right, okay, homework.
Speaking of social media.
Oh yeah, don't
impersonate Chalk and Gavel, but do go like, rate, review, subscribe, engage with us on social media. You can find our website, chalkandgavel.com. We've got that feedback form that Jamie mentioned, opportunities to support the show. This is the most fun we're having, which is why we're doing it in LA in a hotel room while we're at a conference, because we have so much fun doing this. So go check out all of our merch, opportunities to support the show, find our Patreon page. It means the world to us that folks listen to us, and we're going to keep having fun.
That's right. Speaking of,
maybe we can afford a real studio next time.
A real studio. Maybe just something other than an iPhone camera
On top of an ironing board.
on top of an ironing board. Yeah. And
it's all good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, all right. Speaking of fun. I might go down and check out the Grammy Museum here.
Ooh, nice. Last time we were here, I went to a Lakers game.
You did?
I did,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
but not this time.
No. The Grammy.
Do it. You should.
I should.
Yeah.
I should. That's
Go see all the other rock gods.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to go do that, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, listening, and checking us out. Have a good one, everybody.